He must be feeling frustrated after how yesterday transpired, which means that they will likely be giving it their all to get a win over Shifters today.
Or
What for?
Mickey Gragas mid, Pyke support.
I very much don't expect. I mean, Pyke's support seems realistic for Mickey.
You know, I wouldn't mind some spice from SK. Bring out some of the old dogs, you know, see if we can teach them any new tricks.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a leader just say, all right, give me the Akali, give me the Katarina, give me the Silas.
See, that's what I like, you know, a little bit of.
They banned Aurelia.
Huevo. They banned Aurelia, they banned Varus and Rumble for Shifters.
Leader's gonna first
Cassio,
pick Azir.
Jarvan and Vi bans from SK, and it's a first pick Azir for leader.
All right, fine. Okay, they want to take that away.
They do have a 100% win rate on it this split, Betty.
Don't they have one game on?
Yes.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, how can I refute that argument?
Yeah, I mean, it's just maths, you know?
It's just maths. Will we see the Yunara response into, well, there's no Rumble, which means it's probably what? Xin, maybe? Pantheon?
Yeah, can't go for the Jarvan either. Boukada's Vi is banned out. I mean, you could go for something like the Skarner. Though I think that's going to struggle a little bit into Azir.
Well, it can, for sure. Depends what you pair it with support, probably.
I mean, sure.
If you have, like, Nautilus, it's probably fine.
Could also just look for a mid pick if you want to go Taliyah here.
Yeah, Taliyah's also okay. Oh, Wukong.
Yeah, Wukong.
I feel like we haven't seen Wukong for a while.
It's very possible. Boukada has played it a couple of times this split.
No, that I agree with, but I feel like just Wukong has kind of dipped out of the meta a lot more recently from what I recall.
Yeah, I can have a quick look. It was played Na'Vi versus Giant X, whenever that was. Week 3, so last week.
Okay, well then, you know, what 18 games is a lot of games. Okay,
only once last week, and then before that it was 2 weeks
Okay,
ago.
so it generally is less then.
Yeah.
We can take that. I'll take that.
I'm really annoyed at SK.
Why?
Because they could have picked Rakan first and then Xayah, and then the portraits would match.
Yeah.
And they went Xayah Rakan. Like, they had all the opportunity to have it be one synergy across the two champs.
No, I get that.
And there's the Taliyah. So, kind of what we expect in the mid lane. The Wukong does have quite a lot of CC as the game goes on with that Cyclone, or at least can get on the back line. I think Wukong Rakan is a great partnership, so I'm not surprised that SK decided to get rid of that by picking the Xayah Rakan themselves. It's also Mickey's Rakan. They have a 100% win rate on it this split, buddy.
Again, is it one game?
It is one game.
Was he perhaps playing Rakan?
Jopa also has a 100% win rate on Xayah.
I'm starting to think this might be the draft that they won on.
I'll have a look. It is so far.
Yeah, it's
the important thing is, they played Pantheon and Rumble that game, and both of those are banned.
Okay.
So we're going to have to see a different top jungle.
Not to brag, but I was about to say perhaps Pantheon ban.
Yeah.
And there's that Nautilus we were talking about. So far, it's almost like a decent amount of drafts are quite predictable right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's best of one, right? Like
you say that. I feel like when we move to Fearless, the meta's not going to shift that much.
No, the first game will be the same. And then after that, there'll be a few picks. You're like, oh, they could do this or this.
Okay.
Whereas right now, it's kind of like, well, they'll probably do this.
Okay.
You know?
I like your optimism.
And best of 5 if they go to 5 games,
now,
which they don't often do.
Yeah, that'll be.
Because we could just get 3-0s across the board, and then it's the same.
Okay, we'll worry about that when we get to it.
Yeah, okay.
For now, let's think about what else they could ban. Another support, perhaps? Nope.
Get rid of the Renekton. It kind of implies an Ambessa. Renekton very good into the pick, although Wunder on Ambessa is not something we too commonly see. Could be Ambessa jungle as well.
Yeah, but then that wouldn't really lead to a Renekton. They could also be thinking about a Cassante, and they just think that Rooster will go for Renekton top as a response to it.
It's possible.
Nico is the hover right now to give Trymbi and Paduck a little bit more of a stronger 2v2 in the bot side of the map. But Alistar can also work if they want to go for that instead. And looks like they're going to go for that instead. All right. I mean, isn't Nico better into Xayah?
No, because you pop Blossom to just ults.
Yeah, fair.
Right, so...
Okay.
We'll see where SK decide to go. It looks like they're going jungle as their first of these 2 picks. Will be a blind top laner for Wunder. Oh, baby, it's a Mundo. Okay, a tank.
I think the champ is just OP right now.
Oh, is it the Ambessa? Okay, so it is Ambessa top
You're
for
right,
Wunder.
good prediction, yeah. So it is almost certainly a Mundo jungle. This is very straightforward front to back. I also think that normally I would say I don't love dive when you're playing with an Azir, but I think that in the context of Ambessa, it's fine, especially when you have a Rakan beside you, because at least they can work together a little bit. Ambessa is very much going to play in isolation, looking for picks, whereas the rest of the team comp is going to play more of that front-to-back style. Shifters do have decent skirmishing once they hit level 6. Their scaling also isn't that bad. We're going to see a return of the Rek'Sai towards top lane for Rooster. Very much just a neutralizing tank matchup towards that side.
Yeah, you have so much sustain as Rek'Sai. Flandre shows it off incredibly well throughout all of his games. Probably one of the best Rek'Sai tops in the world.
I do feel like SK's comp is just very cookie cutter. It wants the team fight, it wants to scale, it wants to take its time. Shifters, they do want to, well, I was going to say they want to play through silence a little bit more, but I think that their scaling is something, like ultimately both comps want to do very similar things, they'll just do it in different ways.
Yeah.
Mundo is going to be the biggest problem for them, which means that Yunara, if they keep her down, then
how do you get through the Mundo?
How do you get through the Mundo, right? So the Taliyah wall is going to be really important. Where Wukong chooses to focus is going to be really important. There are a lot of threats onto this Azir. Wukong plus Rek'Sai have very easy access onto the Azir, and while all that chaos is going on, a Taliyah is going to try and shift you with a rock. So you've got to be cautious of a lot of things that'll be...
You have to be able to smell what she's cooking.
Absolutely.
Otherwise you will get shifted.
Absolutely. So Shifters need a win. Shifters need this win. Whereas SK, I mean, they're mainly just playing spoiler. After their defeat yesterday to LR, they're out of playoffs. They're going to be looking forward towards spring. And to hopefully end the split on a high note.
Yeah, which KCB just showed us that you can do.
Absolutely.
Victory over Giant X for SK. You know, finishing 4 and 7, much more respectable.
I mean, you could say, depending on who you ask, today could be the day of upsets. KCB winning, Vitality winning. Again, I said depending on who you ask.
I think
I did say that specific wording.
Like Lost Returns, I think still went into that game as underdogs.
Absolutely,
and I think that's where they thrive,
as well.
right?
And that's why I said depending on who you ask.
Sure. So we're just asking people that don't watch the game.
No, we're going to ask Kadril, because he definitely would have said.
No, I think Kadril would have said.
Nah,
like,
he wouldn't.
Honestly, I think he would have said they were the underdogs.
Nah, he wouldn't have.
Okay. Okay, I get you. You can go ask him now if you want.
No.
He's probably listening. Actually, Kadril, can you type in your chat and we can bring it up on the screen?
We could actually, yeah.
And then we know whether you thought you were the underdogs or not. It would be a little bit like, if he now comes out and says, no, we should have thrashed them. Like, obviously, he's not going to say that. Anyway, we see Mikyx using the Gleaming Quill here early to make sure that Jopa and he are topped up. Something you can do really easily into the Alistar, because you're not really any threat at level 1. And there is the headbutt back.
I thought there's something comical.
Oh, yeah, just about
heated. Have this imagery of just, you know, a bird landing on like a cow in a field, and the cow just... That sound effect. No, Zai, get over there. Early push going to be gained by Nuke in the mid lane, kind of as we expect from this matchup, and it's the same old, same old. Level 6, Azir. You know,
has some threat.
Seeing, I was talking to Jack about this yesterday. He was like, you know, we tolerated this for years.
Yeah, it was
one of those things where, like, now that people have tasted Fearless, they're all just like, wait, we watched these same matchups
and, like, from the same players for a full best of 5. Yeah. And it was like, oh, in this one, will they not do the salty run back?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the salty run back was the best thing about it.
Oh, yeah.
When you'd see a team run it back, there was that super famous one where they ran it. I say super famous. I don't even remember who was playing. But, like, they tried it, like...
3 games in a row.
Yeah, no, but the third game they changed, like, 1 or 2 things. Like, their bot and mid were the same or something. They still lost. Good times. Well, it wasn't, actually, because of all the other bad times.
There were good times.
Absolutely.
It's just we didn't know how good it could be.
That's true, but now we do.
As Skeanz goes through his first jungle clear very rapidly, something that Mundo really excels at doing already towards where that Scuttle Crab will spawn. It's going to come up in a couple of seconds. You can see Boukada realizing, yeah, I can't really challenge a Mundo at level 4 for that first Scuttle Crab. Both of them left one baby Krug alive to tell the tale of the murder of the rest of the Krug camp, which is something I see a lot of junglers do in the LEC. And I'm just like, man, there's a lot of XP and gold.
It's efficiency, man. It's efficiency.
But is it really that much more efficient?
They seem
he was there like 15 seconds before the Scuttle Crab even spawned.
I think so.
So we're just appealing to authority, are we now?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Who am I to question the will of the junglers?
You're an analyst, Vedius.
Yeah, no,
You're allowed to do that.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that back up, but...
Oh, Boukada maybe looking to steal away these Krugs, just puts a ward on them instead. And he's got a ward towards the base piece as well, so we'll be able to track Skeanz through his next jungle clear pretty easily. Leader is TPing to the mid lane, and Boukada is here, flashed away from Leader, yep. The bird flew in and immediately realized, not really where I want to be.
That was a wise flash, I would say. Mainly because...
A bad TP, though.
Yes, absolutely. Because some may say, well, I don't know if they would have had the damage, which means that, okay, he was going to flash anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're going to flash anyway, you may as well keep your HP while you're doing it, right?
Yeah, because otherwise you just use your teleport and your flash, and then you have to come back to the lane anyway. It's like, okay, well, I'll take another 30 seconds to get back here, I guess. As Leader will be able to clear out the wave underneath the tower. Does get seismically shoved. And Nuke.
Oh, he's getting cooked.
Yeah, he really is, man.
That was a nice trade by Nuke there. Just really good spacing as well, just that he knew there's this very brief moment whenever you last hit a minion that you have to stand still, especially if you're using a soldier to do it. And so Nuke just took advantage of that. Now, supports have made their way mid lane. Trymbi here first, lying in wait on the trap ward. Mikyx, though, he doesn't care. He's going to face check.
I think this is the most animal League of Legends game we've had in a little while. We've got 3 birds on one side, and then a cow and a monkey on the other, you know?
Would Rek'Sai fall under the animal category?
Oh, she's a void creature.
She is scorpion-like, mole-like, perhaps.
Like one of those blind ones.
Yeah.
We'll see if Rooster.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's why she has the tremor sense.
That does make a ton of sense.
Whole blind mole thing. A lot of the League of Legends champions are actually based off real-life things.
That does logically make sense.
Rooster getting pushed in the top side, as he will just be able to dodge away. In the early game, relatively slow between these two teams. We'll remind you all of the stakes for Shifters. It's still not in their own hands. They need to win here, and then they need 2 of the following teams to win. Na'Vi, KC, and G2 in the next 3 games. For SK, they're already locked out of playoffs, as we've talked about a couple of times today. Still pride on the line. You're getting 4 wins is, you know, you'd be even with Shifters rather than be...
I mean, so my POV on SK is it's a long year, right?
Sure, because they're quite old and they're like every year they take as a blessing. Is that what you're going for? Who knows when the knell of death will come for us? It's the joints. I can't even stand up.
No, what I meant was failing here doesn't mean that your year is over, right? And so you should take every opportunity to get the maximum amount of practice that you can in anticipation of the future, because they've got to be thinking about spring now, and there's a lot of opportunity. And I mean, we know that Mikyx really does believe in the potential of this roster, and I think we've seen some of that potential. Right? They've come very close to a number of games where they should have won. That GX game was frustrating to watch. Yesterday, it felt like the nerves got to them yesterday. You know, like they had a very solid lead, and then they just kind of let LR do whatever they want to do, and it cost them a lot. So
very miscoordinated in the fights yesterday.
So I feel like that you've got to treat every opportunity as an opportunity to grow and figure out how you want to play together as a team. And again, like I'm not all doom and gloom on SK just yet. I'm excited to see where the project can go. But yeah, they're trying to end on a high. And hey, like as we mentioned earlier in the day, for some pros, denying their opposition can be just as fulfilling as granting your own success.
And we do look at like Wunder and Mikyx, who have had such storied careers in the LEC, and think of this as, you know, an older team, a more experienced team. But Leader has only been in for 4 splits. Jopa just coming into the LEC. You know, Skeanz hasn't been around for too long as well. So as you say,
player he has, but LEC opportunities, yeah, you're right. He hasn't been given.
Yeah, exactly right. So every time you get a chance to continue to improve and get that those stage reps in, very important. As Mikyx and Skeanz will team up here to try and force Boukada out of his jungle. But Honor's even basically in every lane. Nuke and Rooster have slight leads, as to be expected. And there's a small lead for Jopa down towards the bottom side. Mikyx here can battle dance away. Nuke hit with a cleaver and dismounts his Weaver's Wall.
No kill, 8 minutes in. Grub spawn, 5 seconds time. Getting into my golfing voice, as I often find myself doing when the...
I was thinking of Mitchell and Webb snooker.
Okay.
Oh, and that's a bad
I am familiar with their names. No
comedy
idea
duo
who they are.
from the UK. David Mitchell and
I
James
do know who
Webb.
they are, yes.
Yeah, and they do the snooker commentary. It's like, oh, that's a bad miss.
I see.
And Leader here missed 17 minions yesterday in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Oh?
Goes in, does get the flash out of
That's a
Nuke.
bad miss. Get the flash out though, so it's still worth.
A forced error there.
How many cigarettes have you smoked prior
This
to
is
using
what
this
I'm going
voice?
for,
Oh,
man.
I
It's the
see.
voice, you
I
know?
see, right.
Snooker commentators sitting there in their dark rooms.
Right, yes. Absolutely.
A few millennials from the UK with a very niche type humor would have got those jokes. The Jopa going in here with the Ghost, looking for Paduck. Puts down the Featherstorm, flash away, still gets him with the blades. Jopa with a solo kill in bot side.
Okay, Jopa styling on Paduck. We did talk about in draft how Paduck is a key player in being able to eliminate this Mundo problem that they're going to have to deal with later on into the game. And Jopa already off to a good start. Solo kill, 1v1, down on the bot side, going to pick up the Storm Razor. This Xayah is going to be feeling pretty good here in this early game.
Yeah, really good to get one of your scaling carries out to a lead like this. Lead obviously struggling a little bit in the mid lane, while Jopa almost 1,000 gold ahead now. First Drake as well to SK, it allows them to play through that bot lane even more. No Featherstorm, no flash, but Paduck doesn't have his ultimate either, nor does he have that flash. Trymbi looking towards the mid lane. Skeanz going to try and chase him down. Mikyx taking a little bit of a scenic route, dashing to leader first, but Trymbi forced low means that should be an easy enough Drake for SK. Trymbi, though, does have time to reset and regenerate that HP bar before the Drake does spawn. Just gives Mikyx a little bit of time to deny some vision. Does want to hit level 6, so isn't actually going to clear the ward. Instead, will go towards the bot lane, get the level 6, and then path back out towards the dragon you have to expect.
One of the things we heard Trymbi talking about earlier was perhaps too many cooks in the kitchen, and someone has an idea. Team doesn't always want to follow it through, and I think that's probably been one of the most frustrating things to see about this team is, on paper, this roster has a lot of skill to it. I mean, we were having conversations at the beginning of the split. Should Rooster be in the conversation for one of the best top laners in our league? His laning is typically very strong as Wunder and Rooster going for a bit of a back and forth, trying to lock him underneath the tower.
Yeah, because Wunder dodged the Prey Seeker with his public execution as Mikyx caught but can dance away, it meant that Rooster wasn't tanking the tower. And so, because of that, Rooster able just to burrow his way to safety. Drake up. Still that quickness available for Mikyx. He's going to use the Gleaming Quill to heal up. We'll take one Dragon Auto from it, but still a net gain of HP. Nuke here, no flash. Mikyx can look for the quickness. There's the Emperor's Divide. Stunned up by the Unraveled Earth, but still the charm going down onto Nuke. Needs to get to the safety of his teammates. Boukada's on his way across. Nuke surviving with the heal, and there's the Cyclone onto Mikyx, who flashes the wall, but Boukada chases him. Lands the crushing blow. Trymbi with an Unbreakable will survive through the damage of Skeanz and Leader, and in the end, it's Shifters who get the kill.
So, I mean, I want to see the replay, but I think Leader really misplayed how they went for that. I think he used his Q on the Azir super early, which means that basically, once you're shuffled over the wall, you drop another soldier, but then Taliyah walks away, and you now have no tool to actually follow that through. So I think using the Q super early in that exchange, oh, Leader now has to flash as well, as Boukada finds a play. If we get a replay of that, we can look back at exactly how he executed upon it. But yeah, right now, Shifters trying to make some magic happen on the Rift. They do lose the Dragon. We look back. So see, a very early Q to set up for the play. Now, of course, he did need to make that play happen in order to get the shuffle, but now you don't have the Q available. When it does come up, the fight's kind of already over again, and there's nothing really left. So he didn't have the damage. And again, you can understand the idea that you've got to commit that Q in order to get in range. But I question, like, perhaps using the flash earlier would have been the right play.
I think that's also, there's an argument for Mikyx to pop the quickness in the bush, then E-flash onto Nuke, because Nuke didn't have flash, right? So he stunned himself going in with it, but you could put the Unraveled Earth down because you knew that you were going to get chased out. You knew they were going for a fight onto you. Mikyx diving away here as the Void Rush in from Rooster, almost killing off Mikyx for the second time the game. Still unable to quite get that final bit of damage down. Rooster might look for the Prey Seeker here just to stop the backs. Wunder's going to try and block it out. Trymbi doesn't go for anything. Hasn't got the Unsealed Spellbook, so didn't have something like an Ignite at his disposal. Skeanz going to try and save Wunder's life here. Public Execution is back off cooldown. They jump in, they CC him, and the Ambessa does not have a chance to use anything before she falls. Skeanz now needs to be a little bit careful because this tower is pretty damn low. He's going to start to walk away. They'll get rid of that CC from the Goes Where He Pleases and still get the knockback onto him. There's the trample stun for the follow-up. Good knockup coming out from Mikyx. Charm as well with the quickness will stop the advance of Shifters, but SK kind of bleeding all over the map.
Yes, you can feel that the momentum is really going towards Shifters.
Would you say it's shifting in
I
their favor?
I was deliberately avoiding saying that, but the fact that they turn around a gank in mid lane, they then force the flash out from leader, they then set their sights on top lane, secure the tower, get a kill, get the flash out from Skeanz, just a sequence of plays that all just went the way of Shifters, means that now they've really opened up the map, they're in a much better position to contest the next Drake. Of course, Herald will be the next objective, but we look back at this, they have 4 members on the top side, there's nothing really anywhere else on the map for SK to cross map. Skeanz is here to try and help, but with Mikyx back in base, he's not in a position to help defend this dive, and with the tower falling, it doesn't result in an additional kill, but hey, they got what they wanted.
Skeanz having to use the ultimate to get out here alongside the quickness from Mikyx, investing a lot of resources just to make sure that Skeanz survives the fight. And after we saw Jopa get that early kill in the 1v1, I thought perhaps we'd see more play from SK towards Jopa. Like, get him really fed on this Xayah. Still sitting on the Storm Razor, still has about a 700 gold lead, but he's the only one with one on his team right now, although leader slowly catching up to Nuke, a 1 gold difference down to 0. He'll be able to farm up those minions. Paduck able to force Jopa out, with Trymbi waiting just around the corner in that bush. It would be a little bit dangerous for him to go in on the fight. Drake up in 2 minutes though. SK have been able to stack the first 2. Can try and play around that. For Shifters though, getting a little bit of a gold lead back in your favor, with Rooster being able to side lane threat onto Wunder in the 1v1. Becomes a little bit harder for SK to really match that Rek'Sai on a side lane.
I keep track of like what the next game plan is, because you've got a lot of members of SK on the bot side of the map, but Herald is the next objective. Boukada's up there. Rooster has the push in top as he finds very nice trades against the Ambessa.
Using that Fury really well with the Titanic Hydra as well, just to cleave through Wunder and the minions. Because of that, you've got a Rift Herald available to Boukada. Still a minute 10 before we have the Drake, so there's time for Shifters to take this and then move their resources down towards the bottom side to contest that dragon if they so desire. Skeanz and Mikyx, realizing this, are going to go and try and make a play onto Nuke and Trymbi on Unraveled Earth once again on Mikyx. The trample stun coming out afterwards, but there's a cooldown used by Nuke, and the quickness still available to Mikyx. Drake up in 50 seconds. Mikyx may be looking for the reset. Doesn't actually have any wards on his Celestial opposition right now, so would want to get back and be able to replenish any wards that are cleared out by Shifters.
Yeah, you can see that SK have made a very deliberate attempt to put pressure on this bot side of the map, but they don't have the vision to control it. Slowly they're getting sweeped out. There are 2 deep wards on the bot side for SK that do offer TP flanks for both Leader and Wunder, but Wunder's getting constantly pushed underneath this tower. Rooster going to go back to base. I want to see what he actually grabs for himself. If he's going to complete another item. No, he's just going to go straight for the tier 2 boots. So get that extra armor secured to help deal with Jopa and Wunder. Dragon now 10 seconds away. Rooster making a beeline towards that mid lane. Has a quick wave for himself, but they're going to leave that to Paduck for now. They're also going to drop the Herald in mid to provide that extra pressure. Wunder's going to get a quick base off as the Dragon gets started off.
Mikyx not got those wards that he really wanted to stay around. SK are going to start up the Drake. There's the Hex Gate behind by Trymbi as he looks for the engage. Emperor's Divide down on him. Unbreakable will use as well alongside the Locket. Quickness, Charm into perfect execution. They're diving onto Nuke. He's going to be able to flash the wall. Deadly Plume is coming out with the Feather Storm as well. Rooster's already killed off one, but Jopa will answer with one of his own. Cyclone on the backline. Jopa's going to have to flash, and now Wunder's left. Wolves, but Boukada unable to take him out in time. Seismic shove back on Skeanz, but has the passive backup, means that he's not knocked back. Shifters low, as are SK. Question is, can Skeanz and Leader, with the maximum dosage, heal up?
They have the HP, I feel.
And the Hex Soul is actually, the Hex Drake is slowing down Shifters. They need to be worried about these bouncing autos.
They're coming back already. Supports back out onto the Rift. Hex Gate's going to be used. Trymbi's on his way. Boukada just doesn't have the HP. I think Shifters can't afford to fight this.
Weaver's Wall coming out. Nuke trying to separate the fight out. Seismic shove missing as Nuke, even with the Saris, is unable to trade into Jopa. Meanwhile, the Dragon going down. It's Skeanz that gets it. We'll see Leader falling. Paduck exhausted, but Mikyx trying to play a 1v4 here. Doesn't have the damage to kill off the enemy AD carry. The Drake is secured for SK, but they lose 2 lives for it.
I feel like that was a really unnecessary play from Mikyx, but hey, they do get the Drake. They put themselves on Dragon Soul. Shifters know they have the numbers advantage, so they're going to try and get some more plates in this bot side thanks to Rooster. Reset's going to come through from across the board. Ultimately, I'd say a win for SK.
Yeah.
But it is close.
I think in the end, getting one away from Soul opens up the map a lot for you later on.
Yeah.
So we'll have another look at this, because...
So this is a super early ult from Leader, which, I mean, he's cautious of the engage from Trymbi, so I understand why he does it. And then the fight becomes very scattered. Basically, you've just got to hit whoever you can. I think decent damage comes out from both sides, and ultimately it's just a trade of supports as everyone is flashing for their lives right now. Then the reset happens on the second half of the fight, which, with the HP advantage, a good ulti comes through from Nuke. That ends up isolating the AD carry. Leader then just feels like he's forced very deep into the pit, which puts him in a very difficult position. Kind of wastes the flash in that situation, but once you're already there, I don't really know where else you can go. And then Mikyx, hoping to get a kill, trade back, ends up really not getting much off the back of it.
Yeah, a little bit greedy from Mikyx, I think we can say. It's him and Hylissang shaking hands, creating space. That's what he did in that fight. Jopa still only at that one item with the Storm Raids complete. Almost has the Infinity Edge, but the tower will fall in his face as Rooster has a 1.6k gold lead. Pretty hard to take down as that armor from the plated steel caps. Jopa now caught out, doesn't have the flash. Featherstorm will be used. Quickness out from Mikyx, but he can't dash forward because he's in Maverick Earth, and now tries to dash away, but he's locked up again with another Cyclone. Shifters find 2 in the mid lane, and really SK overstepping after their tower went down.
Yeah, some nice picks from Shifters as basically SK think that they can push out that mid wave after losing that tower, but then Shifters are quick to punish it. Excellent play from Shifters overall.
I saw something duck, and I was like, we're not doing Year of the Duck again, are we? He's not in this game, he's not even in the region. Then I realized Paduck now, it's the Year of the Duck.
That it is. Okay, let's not, no.
Bring it back.
We don't have to bring it back.
So have another look at this. Yeah.
And ultimately, SK's just trying to push out the wave. They don't expect this collapse to come through. The collapse is fast, and a nice shove back once Jopa's ultimate wears off from Nuke to help secure that kill. Paduck gets the other one. He gets another added to his score.
And now he's ahead of Jopa.
Now he is ahead. Remember,
there was solo kill.
Yeah, there was like a 900 gold lead for Jopa early on, but after getting all these towers, after finding 2 kills, he's now in a fantastic position. Rooster really with all that gold lead. We talked about how, as a player coming into this split, behind the scenes, we did have really high expectations of him. Even last year, I think we saw a lot of his potential. But you give him some of these winning matchups, and he can do some serious damage with them.
Definitely managed to do it this game. Knock-up happening. Mikyx will grand entrance, try and get away from Boukada. Paduck on the flank position here with the Arc of Judgment. Will get hit with a cleaver in response, but vision control for Shifters, who are playing a very solid game so far. 3,500 gold ahead. Looking towards that Baron side of the map. Need to be cautious for the next 90 seconds because that's when the Drake will spawn, and don't want to give a Hex Solar over to a Xayah and Azir. And even if they are behind, going to struggle to be able to really match the extra damage and slows that can come out from quite long range with the double daggers and with the soldiers.
A minute 10 now until the next dragon. And Soul.
And Soul.
So, let's check items real quick. Nuke in a really good position. Leader would love that Liandry's to be finished. Now, I'm going to quickly check how far off he is. If my thing will work.
Yeah, too far.
Yeah, he's too far. I think he's going to go back to base now, and he'll pick up the Faded Ashes. But yeah, he won't quite have that Liandry's in time. 40 seconds. I mean, he does have TP. If he can just get another wave, he might even be asking Jopa, hey, give me this next wave. I think I can get Liandry's off the back of it.
Which would be huge as well, because if they do decide not to fight around the Drake, they could look for a sneaky Baron play.
Yeah. I mean, look at what they're doing on the minimap right now, Meta. You can see Jopa actually pathing towards top. They're basically conceding pressure around this objective. Shifters haven't really got any vision around the dragon for now. Trymbi, he does have 4 wards available to him. He's not committed to anything just yet. I think they realize, I mean, they've got information as to where Jopa is. They know that he's on that tower. He's going to be chipping away at that in the top lane. Trymbi is not really giving SK any space for the time being.
Reaver's Wall coming out. Jopa's going to burn the Ghost to make sure he escapes from any possible collapse.
A tense moment both teams find themselves in, but this is exactly why putting yourself on that soul point gives you such an advantage, because should you start that objective off, then the possibility of a Baron is real, but...
This is smart from Rooster.
Yeah, Rooster can just start soloing it. And Trymbi's invested those one ward for now, around this Baron area. He does not want SK to be doing this while the Dragon goes down. It looks like SK have said, okay, we don't want to take the fight. Leandries will finally come through for leader, but unfortunately for him, a little too late before being ready for the fight.
Jopa able to pick up a bit more gold himself as well. He's ahead of Paduck in terms of gold, but not quite in terms of items yet. The Infinity Edge obviously costing quite a lot.
Absolutely.
So the Fiendish bolts, Fiend Hunter bolts, that's the one. Relatively cheap actually for an AD carry item. It does give you a lot of power on the Yunara. For Shifters, don't blame them for being a little bit tentative. A win here keeps them in playoff contention. A loss knocks them out. SK already eliminated, but Shifters' fate still not in their own hands. Even if they do win, they would need 2 of the following 3 teams to win, Na'Vi, KC, or G2. So the thing about that is those results seem very doable, right? Na'Vi could definitely win. KC playing up against Heretics could definitely win. G2 against Fnatic, maybe a little bit more of a 50-50 with how both teams are playing right now, but you could see it happening. And you only need 2 or 3, so you've got to do all that you can to make sure you get into one of those playoff spots.
Shifters now setting their sights on this tower. Should be, well, an easy contest. They get 2 plates to themselves. Good damage comes down. Another plate will be secured as well.
Does get more armor and magic resist with more people around it.
But we
staying
are
around to
playing on the new patch where that got nerfed.
It did get nerfed, so it's not as powerful as it once was, the extra resistances.
Which,
the extra tankiness.
great change.
Yeah, it was way too powerful.
Yeah, basically the idea is that before it was 20 to 80.
I think 100, maybe 80.
Yeah, because I seem to remember it being nerfed from 30 to 50.
Yeah,
so
it's
now,
definitely gone down to 50.
So now basically if you're solo, obviously the armor has gone up. But if you're a team pushing to end, it's gone down.
Yeah.
Was the whole point. And that logically makes sense. Because basically if you win a team fight, you shouldn't be punished for trying to end the game.
So it used to be 20 to 100, now 30 to 50.
Oh, it was 100.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, pretty significant nerf for a group.
Also means your support can kind of stand near you a little bit, which is quite nice, because it's often when you have something like Analyst, you do just want in here. Wunder caught out by Rooster, using that Fury well. Furious Fight's coming out as well, goes in with a Void Rush. Public Execution will get the knock-up, and then the dash. Rooster flashes forward for the Eclipse. And Wunder enough to keep him alive.
Yeah, he does keep his flash, which is great for Wunder. But you can see how Rooster on this side lane is definitely stronger. I didn't quite realize how effective Rek'Sai was as a counterpick to Ambessa, but...
I mean, it helps when you have a like 1.5 to 2,000 gold lead in the mid game.
Yeah, but I feel like he was just doing this all laning phase, right?
True,
like
true.
he basically out-sustains the Ambessa and he just wins on short trades too. And then every time she tries to go in, knock up, trade, leave. So yeah, pretty interesting counter. I like seeing this stuff come through. Rooster constantly generating threat on a side lane. You just look at the minimap and you can see constant pushing. Like pretty much across the rift, it's like deep push in here, good control of the mid. The Azir has been able to catch bot, which Rooster's now going to catch, but with his TP available, Leader will be ready to join his team.
Yeah, Rooster has to be a bit more cautious because he has burnt that flash and ult, so he doesn't have those tools. You see the Lord Dominic's Regards coming out from Paduck. Does have the Giant Slayer on it, was added back this year, so you do more damage to healthier members of the opposition, or enemy players with greater HP than you. Sometimes you see a Mortal Reminder into a Mundo, but if you are trying to get through HP stacking, Giant Slayer can do a lot of work as well. You don't have an Ignite or
I'm
any
also
Grievous
just of the
wounds.
opinion, like, anti-heal on someone else.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's you see the Oblivion Orb on Trymbi, like he's kind of the one being assigned to it.
Yep.
I think Giant Slayer is very powerful, but I know a lot of people don't know that Giant Slayer has been added back onto Lord Dominic's Regards because it wasn't there last year, so sometimes think perhaps it's not a good item into a Mundo, and you can argue that Grievous Wounds, if you can apply it readily, does make sense.
There's that third item finished for Jopa as well. And pings are now being sent towards the dragon. So of course that soul threat still very real for Shifters. They want to make sure SK don't get it because it's such a big spike, especially the Hextech Soul. Looking across the board, Wunder's going to tick on over to level 17 as the base is interrupted. Nicely done.
Does Leader have gold for Seekers here?
It's going to be really...
He just bought... He's got a needlessly large rod. I was wondering if it's a Rabadon's or a Seekers, but it's going to be a Lightning Jewel.
Weird.
It doesn't build into anything together, but perhaps just thinks he needs some penetration right now.
It might have also just, he might have had 1100 rather than 1200.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Actually, no, it's 1250.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
Just wants the power for now with the next Drake coming up in 5 seconds time. You can see once again SK like, okay, if you want to control the bot side of the map, we are just going to walk our way up towards this Baron and actually going to start it off. It's Leader and Skeanz doing it. Fast side automation does come in. We'll spot them out. But you can see how quickly this Baron does go down. Trymbi knocked up. Boukada looking for the flank play. Weaver's wall out. Skeanz sticking on this side of the wall. We'll keep the Baron aggroed. He's got help to work with. No soldiers in there right now. Rooster has come across to join the team with that TP. 6,000 now on the Baron as Shifters look to try and find a way into the fight. Rooster gets the knock up. Scuttlecraft secured as well for that little bit of extra vision for Shifters. Trymbi flashing forward. Pops the Unbreakable Will is rooted as well, but with the Unraveled Earth, no one can follow up. No one can chase him with a dash to try and catch out the cow. In the end, that's all that will result of that.
I mean, Trymbi really wanted to try and force something. He messes up his combo. Flash into the Pulverize, does not connect onto anyone, almost loses his life, so he has to burn that ulti quickly. This means that SK ultimately have, well, ulti advantage, I would say.
Leader did use his flash.
Yeah, that's the big one. The fact that they got the Azir flash could be huge for Boukada, who'll be looking for a target in the fight. He may have found one.
Skeanz, Seismic Shelf's going to get rid of that CC reduction, and now Boukada on the chase, uses a Cyclone as well, but Skeanz with a maximum dosage will heal himself back up.
An early ult from the Mundo, not having it available. Remember, he is just a lot of HP.
No Cyclone 2 though, no Unbreakable Will for Shifters. Rooster looking for that flank. We'll use that Void Vision to spot out the fact that Wunder's there. He dashes in, trying to distract this Rek'Sai. Leader a mile away from the fight right now, but begins to step up. Rooster going to take the Hexgate behind, 3,000 on the Drake. Skeanz on that front line, the smite comes out, but it's Nuke that secures it. Mikyx trying to get in with a charm, gets the double knocker, but Paduck is so far untouched. Wunder will kill off Nuke. Paduck now can step back forward, but it's a 3v4 in SK's favor, and Jopa will go hunting, takes out Paduck, gets a double. The Drake secured for Shifters, but the Baron, you have to feel, will go to SK.
Shifters have done a good job of denying these souls away from SK, but a one-team fight will be good enough as SK can set their sights on the Baron once more. Pings are coming down, Jopa will be making his way over there, and this should be an uncontested objective. Boukada might try to get in range. Mikyx, he has to be on defense duty. Look at his position. He's going to try and track where Boukada is.
He goes across with the Hexgate. Now Rooster and Boukada beginning to collapse. Leader still has the Emperor's Divide and puts it down to keep Boukada at bay. Now look for the knockup. Boukada uses the decoy well, dashes away with an Ember Strike and will survive. The Baron, though, does go over to SK. Now Rooster looking for a re-engage with Trymbi here in TPs. Perhaps Shifters can find SK on the disengage. Rooster deep. A counter teleport coming in as Leader dashes across the wall and Rooster needs to get out of there. He'll flash, he'll dash, he'll escape with a burrow. But has to go underground to get away from SK, who all survive with the Baron.
Okay, so a big advantage ultimately gained for SK as we look back at this Dragon fight. So Rooster's now in an awkward spot. He takes a Hexgate to create the flank. The ulti from Nuke kind of splits the fight in two as he finishes off the Dragon, but Wunder finds a nice angle onto the backline to eliminate the mid laner from Shifters. Meanwhile, SK can just focus on playing this front to back inside the pit. They take out another member, they then convert it into a play.
In that fight.
Kind of same, to be honest. It was chaotic because of that Taliyah wall.
Yeah.
It split the fight in two, and I think it made it easier for SK just because they could clump up as four and just hit whoever was in front of them.
And it was like a horizontal axis rather than the vertical axis we usually see that like splits the entire river.
Well, hang
Instead,
on
we
now.
had two sides of it. Shifters have the Cryo in the mid lane here. Skeanz going to try and come across as well. Rooster, Paduck, and Nuke have got on towards this inhibitor tower. SK are the ones with the Baron, remember, and it's Leader who's pushing in the bottom side. Does still have that teleport to join up with a fight. Almost got the Rabadons. Should be able to take the tower himself down in that bottom lane, and a small gold lead begins to materialize for SK. The Shifters see things slip out of their grasp a little bit. It's happened a few times for them across the course of LEC Versus, against Giant X in weeks 1, against Lost Ratones as well. And now, after they did have a bit of a lead, things are starting to collapse a little bit again. 1.5k gold leads in mid and AD carry for SK. Rooster looking for the engage. Boukada doesn't have the flash, but does have a decoy and a cyclone. A cannon minion here for SK, pushing through mid. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Leader continues to hound Nuke, puts the Sun Disc down and will buff up these minions for a moment before backing away. Does have the TP. It looks like it's just going to be a three-way push for SK as they try and take all of the remaining outer towers.
Good job by SK. They're really making use of this Baron to the fullest. Looks like they're not going to be able to win off the back of this.
I mean, they might. The quickness going out. Rooster's going to fall. Wunder on the right side of the wall as well, but Skeanz joined by Mikyx as they get knocked back with a seismic shove. Public execution onto the backline. Nuke. Wunder is the target as Shifters collapse on him, and now a 4v3 in Shifters' favor. Mikyx knocked up. Trymbi with a good flat forward. The Emperor's Divide out from leader. But Paduck untouched. Boukada there as well. A quadra for the Duck. He's going quackers. He'll find himself a pentakill.
Paduck finds a penta for Shifters as SK is knocking on their doors. Beautiful team fight from him. The positioning was fantastic, staying out of range of leader and Jopa that set their sights onto them. SK went far too deep underneath that tower. They got that kill onto Rooster. They thought that they could get so much, but they end up losing everything. We look back at this fight. The focus should be on the tower, but the wall comes through. And look at Skeanz, he's walking forward. He's now underneath the tower. A nice knockback from Nuke. Connects onto two. Wunder's then diving, again with the tower still up. And the coordination from SK isn't there. Trymbi uses the W to get in range to flash, knock up. And Paduck is untouched throughout the entirety of the fight.
You're the Duck, Betty.
Penta!
Said it early on the game.
Pentakill, yummy, yummy.
Oh, yummy! I pushed.
Yummy indeed.
Was gobbling up the SK players.
Absolutely.
And now a 2K lead for Paduck, dragging up in 7 seconds time.
That's a GA on the Yunara as well.
That it is, almost full build, has a noon quiver, going towards his final item. For SK, if they can get this, it is still Soul. The gold is still pretty much even between these two teams. A 1.6k lead at this moment doesn't matter too much. Skeanz walking in and just dying. Deleted where he stands. Rooster on the back line, looking for Wunder. The Drake secured by Shifters. As Rooster continues to chase in, Mikyx able to dash away. Public execution. Rooster blocks it. Paduck trying to chase down Wunder, but a good flash across the wall will get him to safety. And with the waves, it looks like bot wave might be the target for Shifters. They have a man advantage for the next 40 seconds. Mikyx, he just got, okay, flash, gets the knock up. Jopa's just going to kill off Nuke. There's the quickness flash we were talking about earlier on, Betty, as Rooster TP's in. Counter teleport coming out as Wunder's going to join the fray. Exhaust onto Rooster, Cyclone from Boukada just to try and buy some distance, and manages to do exactly that. Trymbi should be able to use the movement speed from the Shrine to get himself to safety down on the bottom side. But Shifters now do not have that man advantage, and so can't push in this bot side.
So, Shifters find a drag, they find a pick. They're threatening to go towards the base of SK. SK, in turn, find a pick of their own. And what does that mean? Baron becomes the player once again. 45 seconds until that objective spawns. Both players that died will be back alive, but we got to some pros seem to have this impression that when you ult on Mundo, it gives you a chunk of HP.
It does not.
It is regeneration.
Yes.
So if you lose 75% of your HP and then pop the ult, like, people can still just kill you. They could just do the rest of your HP. And I think that, yeah, Skeanz could not go where he pleased in that situation.
The thing about it is, it does give you increased base health, but it doesn't give you health.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your maximum health does become bigger, but yeah, it's pretty tough.
But he didn't even pop the ult.
Yeah, he just died, man. The guy just died. He walked in, he was thinking, oh, if I can just steal the soul, maybe that's enough. His SK set up around the Baron once more.
Oh, they're just going to start this.
Okay. I mean, they do it very quickly. 5-item Xayah. Mikyx going to dash across here. The Baron already gone. Skeanz will land the slide on this one. Rooster now the target as Wunder dashes in. Rooster able to escape for now, but SK might look for the offensive. Paduck still has that GA. Trymbi dashes forward. Mikyx knocked back and Shifters find one. Boukada going in with the Cyclone as well. Good effort survived by leader, but Paduck is dashing in and looking for these kills. Skeanz his target, public execution on him, but he's still got the GA. Jopa with the Featherstorm will be able to take out one. Trymbi's his target. Rooster though kills off Jopa. Wunder's gonna fall as well. And SK may have got the Baron, but at what cost?
An ace is secured for Shifters as they tear apart SK. And it's all from an overstep from Mikyx. He gets too close to Trymbi. Trymbi sees that opportunity to punish him and shuts him down just like that. The death timers are long. We're 38 minutes into this game, and Shifters are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive.
It should just be done. Only Mikyx up. Does have the quickness. He's up in 520 on leader, though. Shifters have done what they can today to keep themselves in the playoff race. They need Na'Vi, KC, and G2 to win at least 2 of those for them to make it to our top 8.